Well, we started Christianity. You know, the word Christianity comes from charis, which means for the spirit to rise, or the philosophy of resurrection. Christianity existed before Judaism, even though historically we believe Christianity came from Judaism. But that's not how it happened. And again, that's why when you know history and you're able to do things, you can then move beyond that concept. We don't know religions. We don't know how they existed. We don't know how they came. We don't understand Buddhism. We don't understand Confucius. We don't understand Zoroastrianism or Rosicrucian. We don't understand that because a Western civilization has come down. Dr. Wade Nobles, brilliant educational psychologist, he says that what we're experiencing as Western civilization right now in every dimension, whether it's politics, religion, economics, is vomit. It's vomit. When the Greeks sat before the Africans and they were taught what the Cushites knew, they did not have the intellectual enzymes to be able to digest the richness of the meal. And like all rich meals that cannot be digested, you regurgitate it or you throw it up. Okay? That's what Western civilization is. It's African vomit. But what I say to people, don't throw the vomit out. Definitely don't eat it. Don't smell it. Don't touch it. But examine it. Because in that vomit is the original meal that was cooked by the Cushites. As black folk, you do have the enzymes to digest it. So what we're experiencing as it relates to religion is just, it's an upchuck of all of the richness of the spiritual philosophy that I attempted to put in the book Spirituality Before Religions, the richness of life and its comparison to what happens after this physical life. The mirror relationship between how you ascend into the heavens at death is how you ascend into consciousness in life. They were mirrored with each other. So it just wasn't about death. It was about life and death and the relationship between the two. So all these other religions, whether you're dealing with Hebrew or you're dealing with Christianity or you're dealing with Islam and you're dealing with Rosicrucian, from A to Z, from even agnostic and atheist, they don't understand that. Agnostic, when you look at the concept of who the Gnostic was in Greek, the Gnostic was the person that practiced spirituality, practiced education. The theist was the one that theorized. So that in school, the theist would develop a study of something. They would give it to the Gnostic, who would then go out and practice teaching it. And then the Gnostic would get the feedback from what they taught, bring it back to the theist, and the theist would bring the knowledge to the next level once it was practiced. Now, the Romans are going to come in. Now, the Romans don't exist. The Romans are a Germanic tribe, some of them came from Ukraine, that come down into this Mediterranean basin. They're going to come into this area that today we call Italy, Sardinia, Corsica, okay, in the Mediterranean area. All them people black. They're the Etruscans, the Greeks that we think of the Greeks, and in Anatolia, which today we call Turkey. Throughout the entire, and Spain, throughout all this area here, you have Africans known as the Pelasgians. This is who Europeans, I'm not even going to call them Europeans, this is who the northern Germanic tribes are going to come in contact with, settle in here, and learn things, and this is going to become the Greeks. This is going to become the Macedonians. This is going to become all of the people we today look at in the Mediterranean. These are even going to become the Turkish people. All of them originally were black. People came from the north, settled in this area. The Romans are the same thing. The Romans are another group of northern Germanic people that are going to come down, invade this area, come into Italy, meet these Africans called the Etruscans, and they're going to steal their legacy. And you see, the thing about the Romans is that the Romans didn't have a civilization. Basically, they're going to come with a ragtag language, Indo-European. Then it's going to be based in what the Africans are going to teach them. The Latin language comes directly out of the Kushite experience. And make no mistake, we're not just talking about Egyptians, we're talking about Nigerians. There are West Africans in the Mediterranean basin in the ancient world. See, we don't know our history because we're hit with Ghana, Mali, and Songhai in the medieval period. So we think that's when Africans were invented. No, Africans were in Europe long before this. And it's there. You can see it. It's in the photographs. I have this book called Black Athenian vases, where you see nothing but black people. The Olympics came out of Africa. It came out of the Sed Festival in Africa, where the leader had to prove his ability to rule physically, mentally, and spiritually. And then out of this, what's interesting, that when we deal with sports came out of military training. In the early world, that's how sports came into existence. When you were training to become physically fit to be able to be in the military, that, like for instance, a shot put, right? The shot put was when you was throwing rocks at people. The discus was when you were tossing different types of elliptical objects at people. Then you had the bow and arrow. Then you had running. You had swimming. Those are all military arts that became sports in Africa. Africans brought it into the Mediterranean basin. Greeks got a hold of it, brought it down a certain level, and that became the Olympics. We don't know our history. We really don't know who we are. And it becomes important, family, that we think. That's my thing. I tell people all the time, I'm not telling you this to believe me. Don't believe me. I'm not here for you to believe me. I've got enough stuff up on my website, enough books in my study guide, enough endnotes in my books that I've written, particularly Spirituality Before Religion, that if you question anything that I say, go to my resource. Check it out for yourself. Don't believe me. I just want to make you think.